Hey guys, hey, welcome back. And we are up against who is TWS here today? This is Tainan City Steel. That's right, over in Tainan. So Ndaye is out, which means that Lingwanda moves up top. I probably should have said this off the top here. And we have our new kid, the old center back, playing up in central midfield, which he can play. This is that 17-year-old kid who's going to be up there. And then we have a different 18-year-old playing at center back. So we'll see what happens here. Lingwanda with the ball, and hopefully we'll be able to get a good attack. You know, we are unbeaten in 10 matches, and we'll see if we can continue our lucky ways. There's Nene with it, and that's a good header back, and it's Chen Chengju, who unfortunately not quite able to get onto that. Chen Chengju, I know he really wants to play that sort of more attacking Segundo Volante role, but I just don't think he's good enough for it. Fortunately for us, that shot from Ling Xiangwei was really bad. So there you have it. And I guess there's supposed to be Taiwan Steel, I think is what TWS stands for. Here's Nene. Nene passed over to Menegong, to Silla, over to Feng Xiaochi, and that's not the person who you want to shoot that shot. That's all right. We'll take it. 10 minutes into the match, no score yet. And Cai Yuting loses that header, sorry. And we are back on our heels once again. And so you can see how important Ndaye is. I mean, that's really losing our superstar. And it might be a little bit tricky from here on out. We'll see what happens. Li Chaba ends up grabbing that ball, and he's going to kick it this time over to Cai Yuting. And we just want to move it up slowly. Huang Chiwei over to Liu Chunjie. That's our man, our 17-year-old I was talking about. There's the pass over to Nene. I think he's onside. He's always going to score that. You give him that much space. I mean, he could score that anywhere. He could score that in the middle of the night. He could score that baby if we were on Mars. He would still score. And it's 1-0 for Mars FC. I mean, I guess he's onside. It's kind of hard to say. You have to judge from where those fullbacks were. And as soon as he gets into that position, if everybody's behind him, you're not going to catch up. He's going to score no matter what. And that's why we wanted to get a striker like this. That's the one thing that we had been missing beforehand. Lingwanda over to Liu Chunjie. There's the pass over to Lingwanda, and that's a really, really good attempt. Unfortunately, it ends up doing nothing for us. Li Chaba has kind of reestablished himself back in the back as the goaltender, so I think we're going to end up sticking with him, which is really bad news for Kader Bamba, who's hoping to actually get back into the team again. And that's what happens when we can only have 5 foreign players. And I mean, it's working. So if it's working, it's working. Silla with the shot there, and it was deflected again. He's had a lot of bad luck. Here's Menegong with the next corner. This is knocked up over to Cai Yuting, and he can't quite get there. So that's the end of that. And we'll go ahead and skip through this. I don't think there's any reason to look at that replay. Again, I know that I can turn the extra replays off. I actually prefer to have them on because sometimes they give me something interesting to show, interesting to look at. So it is. Some people like one thing, some people like another. Nene wins that header, but doesn't head it to anybody of any particular importance. And Huang Chiwei goes back and wins this ball that is over his head. Over to Chen Chengju, back to Huang Chiwei. There's the pass over to Nene, and Liu Chunjie ends up getting that one. Nene with the race, and he doesn't win it. He's not going to. He's not quite that fast. That would take an extraordinarily fast player to get around onto that. Here's Shen Yuting. He's the 18-year-old new player playing his first time over at center back. I think he comes up through our youth system or something like that. And Silla ends up with it and takes a silly shot from the middle of nowhere. So nothing happening there. It's still only 1-0 for Mars FC. We should be doing better than that. Silla is not playing very well. And it was a pretty poor decision on his part. There was a pass to Menegong that looked like it was a fastball thrown to him. The shot is up and in the air, and Shi Weijie, their goaltender, able to grab it. And he is going to redistribute it here, and we will win it. As always, there's Menegong with it, and so here's the attack once again. Menegong takes it up right side and knocks this one forward off the top of the bar. And I think Nene was fouled, but there was no call at all. It's still 1-0 for Mars FC as we go into the second half. And I do think things are going fairly well, but we really should be up by more goals than this. And I really have to wonder about Silla, who had the lead in the league last season for assists. I have to wonder about him and why he's not passing it all of a sudden. I mean, is it just because he doesn't have his man there? Ndaye, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Feng Xiaochi gets onto that one. Shen Yuting with a big mistake. Hands it straight back to Wang Chenming. And is that guy's name? And it's knocked out there for a corner. So we are in trouble here at the very beginning of the second half. Lin Chunjie knocks us forward, and we're able just barely to head that out of the zone, but that was very, very precarious. Here is Chen Chengju over to Silla, up to Menegong. Menegong over, looking for Nene, can't quite find him. Menegong with it again, over to Chen Chengju, and he gets a shot, but it's not a particularly good one. That's what I've been saying. I know that he wants, and we have him there in the Segundo Volante role, but he can't shoot. That's the problem with him. He needs to learn how to shoot. So it is. I mean, Lin Guanda technically probably should be playing, in his current role, Shadow Striker, but I prefer having Lin Guanda in the role of Segundo Volante because I know he can score goals from time to time. Nene wins this ball off by himself over to Menegong. Menegong knocks that forward, looking for Lin Guanda. Speaking of trying to score a goal from time to time, Lin Guanda having a hard time doing that here. Menegong again over to Silla, and that was not much of a pass at all. And it's sort of a pinballs and ping pongs its way around, and that is the end of that. Silla looks like he's tired, wants to come off, and we probably should take him off. We probably should give him a little bit of a break. I'm not sure who we put on for him, though. Lin Guanda passes forward for Menegong, and let's see what he can do here. There's a shot, and he just barely misses that one. That hits that top crossbar again. We've hit the post, hit the bar twice so far today. Last game, we hit it numerous times, so we'll see what happens. It's not Silla who's tired, actually. It is Huang Chirwei who's so tired, so we'll take him off, and Silla will also come off because I have not been very impressed. And let's see what happens. The guy we're putting on there up front is aggressive, so let's see if we blow the lead here. Silla really with a pretty poor match here today. Here's Nene, passes it up to Menegong. Over there to Chen Chengju, and he actually has a shot on goal this time. Imagine that. I think it's the first time I've ever seen him get a shot on goal. I mean, that's probably not true. He's probably scored in the past. Someone's going to go down and tell me that. That was good to see. It's good to see that he knows where the goal is. Nene wins this over to Lin Guanda, over to the new guy who came on, Mr. Ye, and unfortunately his pass leads to nothing. Cai Yuting over to Chen Chengju, over to Menegong, to Ye Zhenwei is his name. Menegong with it now. And it's over to Ye Zhenwei, over to Chen Chengju. That was pretty, over to Nene, and he gets his goal. That's the second of the game for him. 10 goals in the season for Nene. We had Ndaye led the league last year, and goals scored with, I think, 15. Nene has 10 already. We're only 6 matches into the 21-game season, so pretty good so far. 2-0 Mars FC, 2-0 for Nene, and that was a very, very good team effort. You can see this beautiful pass over to Chen Chengju, who does the best thing that he knows how to do, that he should do more often, which is centering the ball instead of taking a shot himself. As we become less selfish and play more with those around us, we realize that together we're capable of a lot more than we are individually. Wang Boan with a really bad clearance, and let's see if we can atone for his mistake somehow. And Shen Yuting is able to head it over. That was good from him. Lin Guanda with it now. Shen Yuting, I'm starting to take a liking to this kid. Probably going to have him start more matches. That was that Lin Guanda with that bad pass. Here I am focusing on the play before. It was Lin Guanda with the awful pass. Liu Chunjie now with it. That was a much better pass the second time around. I don't know what's so hard about telling guys like, hey, pass it to the guys who are close to you. What is it that compels these players to want to pass the ball to a guy who's on the other side of the pitch, or who wants to like knock it into the crowd or something? I don't understand at all. Whatever. Cai Yuting now with the ball knocks this forward, and that's up for Nene, who can't get there. Yet Zhenwei does get there. Nene with a header that bounces off and out of the keeper's hands. That's really interesting. And Menegong, unfortunately, unable to catch up with that one. This was not the sort of ball that we want to see. I don't like these forward balls where it's a 50-50 chance. Yeah, Zhenwei, though, sticks with it, and Nene with a good header in the right place at the right time, and that's what we keep doing that. I know that I think they're up as advanced forwards or striker, but I'm starting to wonder if a poacher role might not be a little bit more appropriate because they basically just hang out up front all day. Cai Yuting kicks this down, and that's the end of that. Mars FC have come away with the victory again, 2-0. We didn't totally dominate them, although they had 0 shots on target, a 0.03 XG. 2 shots overall for Tainan City, and 65% of the possession for us. That was a pretty good match, I would say. We win again. That's 11 straight undefeated, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.